Greetings of the day, welcome to Overseas Admit. Did you know that most IELTS students have absolutely no idea how their speaking test is actually marked? Many people believe that speaking fast, using a British accent, or memorizing answers will help them score higher. But here's the truth. IELTS examiners follow a very specific marking system. And if you understand that system, your score can improve dramatically. In today's video, I'm going to break down exactly how IELTS speaking is evaluated, what examiners are really looking for, and how you can push your score towards band 7 and above. Make sure you stay till the end because I'll also share the most common mistakes that destroy speaking scores and a simple 4 weeks study plan you can start using today. So let's begin. Before we jump in, here's what we are going to cover. First, we'll understand the 4 marking criteria that determine your final speaking score. Then, we will look for fluency and coherence, which is all about how smoothly you speak. After that, we'll discuss vocabulary, which is also known as lexical resource, and we'll move to grammar and learn what examiners really mean by grammatical range and accuracy. We'll also talk about pronunciation and clear up one of the biggest myths in IELTS. Finally, I'll show you the difference between band 5, 6, 7 and 8 performance. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what you need to improve. So this slide is the most important one in the entire presentation. Your IELTS speaking score is based on 4 criteria: fluency, coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, and in the end, pronunciation. Each of these contributes exactly 25% to your final score. That means if your vocabulary is excellent but your pronunciation is weak, your overall score will still suffer. Many students focus only on vocabulary and completely ignore pronunciation or grammar. That's a huge mistake. Think of your IELTS speaking score like a table of 4 legs. One leg is weak, the whole table becomes unstable. To achieve band 7 or higher, you need balanced performance across all the 4 arenas. So let's start with fluency and coherence. Most students think fluency means speaking fast. Actually, it doesn't. Fluency means speaking naturally and smoothly while connecting your ideas logically. Examiners want to see whether you can develop your answer, explain your ideas, and stay relevant on the given topic. Small pauses are completely normal. Even native speakers pause to think. What's more important is how you recover after those pauses. For example, if you stop for 2 or 3 seconds and then continue naturally, that's perfectly acceptable. However, if you constantly stop and restart and correct yourself, your fluency score drops. A very useful tip is to use linking words like however, therefore, meanwhile, moreover, on the other hand, etc. These help your ideas flow smoothly and make your speech easier to follow. Now let's talk about vocabulary. IELTS calls this as lexical resource. Many students believe they need to memorize hundreds of difficult words from the dictionary, but that's not true. The examiner is not checking how many complicated words do you know. They are checking whether you can use vocabulary accurately and naturally. For example, instead of saying big city, you can just say metropolitan area. Instead of saying very busy, you could say hectic. But remember, using the wrong advanced word is worse than using a simple word correctly. Another important skill is paraphrasing. Imagine you forget a word during the test. So instead of panicking, explain it using different words. This shows flexibility and communication skills, which examiners love to see. Let's move to grammar. Here's a myth that many students believe. Some people think they must speak with perfect grammar to score band 7. That's actually not true. IELTS examiner expect mistakes. What they want to see is a variety of grammatical structures. Can you use conditionals? Can you use relative causes? Can you use passive voice? Can you switch between different tenses naturally? So, for example, compare these two responses that I'm saying. I like traveling, it is fun. Now, compare it with if I had more free time, I would travel more often because exploring different cultures broadens my perspective. So, the second answer that I spoke demonstrates much greater grammatical range. So, don't be afraid of making a few mistakes while using complex structures. Complexity with occasional errors often scores higher than perfect but very basic English. Now, let's discuss the most misunderstood criteria in IELTS speaking: pronunciation. Many students ask me, ma'am, do I need a British accent? Or, ma'am, do I need an American accent? The answer is absolutely no. IELTS does not reward you for accents. The examiner only cares whether your speech is clear and easy to understand. So, good pronunciation includes clear sounds, correct word stress, natural speech, and connected speech. So, for example, notice how the stress changes between photograph and photography. Stress matters because it affects clarity. One of the fastest way to improve pronunciation is to record yourself speaking daily for 2 minutes. That's what I ask and tell my students to do. So listen carefully and identify the words that are unclear. This simple habit can significantly improve your pronunciation over time. Now let's see what separates different band levels. So band 5 speakers usually hesitate frequently. They repeat the vocabulary and rely mostly on basic and simple grammar. Band 6 speakers communicate reasonably well, but still somehow there are noticeable pauses and occasional language limitations. Band 7 speakers are generally very confident and they use a wide range of vocabulary and can handle complex ideas and grammar effectively. Band 8 and 9 speakers sound effortless. Their vocabulary is flexible, grammar is varied, and pronunciation is consistently clear. Remember something important. To achieve Band 7 overall, you need roughly Band 7 performance across all the four criteria. A single weak area can drag your entire score down. Now let's talk about 6 mistakes that destroy your IELTS speaking scores. Number 1, memorized answers. Examiner can recognize scripted responses very quickly. Number 2, one-word answers. Always expand your ideas, give reasons and examples. Number 3, translating from your native language before speaking. This creates long pauses. Number 4, repeating the question. Many students waste valuable time doing this. Number 5, overcorrecting every mistake. Keep speaking naturally instead of constantly restarting. And number 6, speaking too fast. Speed does not equal to fluency. In fact, speaking slightly slower often makes you sound more confident and clear. Let's do a quick exercise together. Here's a cue card. Describe a place you visited and you would like to return to. Pause this video and try speaking for 2 full minutes. Challenge yourself to use at least 5 advanced vocabulary words. Try including grammatical structures and most importantly, record yourself so when you listen back, ask yourself, was I fluent? Did I use good vocabulary? Was my grammar varied? Was my pronunciation clear? If you'd like a feedback, write your answer in the comment section below. Many students don't realize that each part of speaking test requires a different approach. Part 1 is short and personal. Keep your answers natural as possible. Part 2 is your opportunity to speak up for 2 minutes. Use the preparation minute wisely and organize your ideas clearly. Part 3 is where higher bands are often achieved. You'll discuss abstract topics, express opinions, compare ideas, and also justify your views. This section requires stronger vocabulary and more complex grammar. Understanding the purpose of each part helps you perform more confidently during the test. If you're wondering how to improve your speaking score, so I'm giving you a simple 4-week plan. Week 1, focus on fluency. Speak every day without worrying too much about mistakes. Week 2, focus on vocabulary. Learn and actively use new words. Week 3, focus on grammar. Practice conditionals, passive voice, and complex sentence structure. Week 4, focus on mock test and feedback. Record yourself, analyze your weakness, and stimulate real exam conditions. Even 15 minutes of focused daily practice can produce much better results than studying for hours only on weekends. Let's quickly recap what did we do. Your IELTS speaking score depends on 4 equally important criteria: fluency, vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. Remember, fluency is not speed. Vocabulary quality is more important than fancy words. Grammar should be varied, not perfect, and pronunciation is about clarity, not accent. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share if someone is preparing for IELTS. Also tell me in the comments which speaking criteria do you find the most difficult: vocabulary, grammar, fluency, or pronunciations. I'll personally read the comments and try to help. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.